Hello, everyone. It's Charlton, and just want to show you this real quick before I call it a night. And I'm not going to be real detailed here. I'm vaguely familiar with the officer that was gunned down, the female officer that was gunned down in Northern California. I think in the city of Davis. I want to say, yeah, the city of Davis Police Department. Her name is Natalie Corona. That's one picture of her. There's the other one of her, holding the flag. That's her. She's a brand new officer, but she supposedly was a rising star, an absolute workhorse, and she was just ambushed by somebody and gunned down and killed. I don't even know what day this was, but they have released the identity of the person who killed her. It was earlier in the week, this previous week. They've released the identity of the person who killed her, and the thing that struck me the most, I mean, it's obviously awful, it's obviously terrible, is that he left a note on his, I think in his home, and on his bed, face up, stating, that's the individual right there, Kevin Douglas Limbaugh. And they've released at least a portion of this note. I don't think this is the full note, even though it sort of appears that it is. When the woman reported on it, she said portion of the note. I don't know if there's more to it than this, but it reads, he basically claims that the police department, the Davis Police Department, has been hitting him with a sonic weapon for years, and he couldn't take it anymore, and that's what made him snap and do what he did, and just seemingly gunned down this female officer for no apparent reason whatsoever, killing her. And it's just it's obviously crazy. But I do, I've sort of kept track of, or I've these stories about the sonic weapons, which began in Cuba, and I don't have time to go into that, but it was reported on again and again, but to the point where our State Department literally pulled all of our personnel at the U.S. Embassy in Cuba out of Cuba, and we're no longer there anymore as a result of this sonic weapon that they weren't even able to identify. This is a theory they have, and they described all the symptoms, people having traumatic brain injury, brain damage, headaches, I think deafness, other things. And I think they even studied it medically to try to determine the cause, isolate it, and figure it out. And still, I think it's a work in progress. It began, I think there's reports of it happening in China as well. Now, this could be completely unrelated, and that this is nothing, and that, the person is just possibly insane, but still, it got my attention. And there's more report there. Like I said, in China, there's a number of reports, not just one or two instances. And this is sort of an outlier that's kind of odd, and I just happened to catch it in the story about the mystic, the Bulgarian mystic. I forget her name, who's dead already, but she has given she's like the Nostradamus of Bulgaria, or something like that. And she's given predictions into the future. And people have said she predicted 9/11 and other things. But one of the things for 2019 is she predicted that Trump would go deaf. And I think the suggestion or the inference was that he might be zapped with one of these sonic weapons. I mean, when I saw it, because I follow this sonic weapon story, I kind of was actually was sort of like, wow, So here's the letter from the dude, from Kevin Limbaugh, and he calls himself Citizen Kevin Limbaugh. The Davis Police Department has been hitting me with ultrasonic waves meant to keep dogs from barking. I notified the press, internal affairs, and even the FBI about it. I am highly sensitive to its effects on my inner ear. I did my best to appease them, but they have continued for years, and I can't live this way anymore. Citizen Kevin Limbaugh. So that's at least a portion of the letter that he left on his bed. He killed himself. He was found dead from a self-inflicted gun wound. To be honest with you, I don't even know where. And, it's late. I'm going to turn in here in a second. and I doubt that I'm going to find out for you. To me, like these stories of the sonic weapons have my interest, so I immediately, as soon as I saw the report, began getting ready to make a video, and I'm doing that now. Having just read that, to me it sounds like this isn't one of those instances, in my opinion. It sounds like he's just, at least partially insane, without being zapped by a sonic weapon. But it's just my first opinion, and I think it's probably the right one. But so let me just quickly. A letter mentioning ultrasonic waves was found after a gunman fatally shot a California police officer without warning this week before firing at others and later killing himself. The later was found face up on his bed, said Lieutenant Paul Doroshoff of the Davis Police Department. The Yolo County Sheriff's Office Deputy Coroner identified the suspect Saturday as Kevin Douglas Limbaugh, 48 years old. Limbaugh is believed to have opened fire on Davis Police Officer Natalie Corona, 22 years old, only 22. Wow. Without warning, as she responded to a 3-vehicle traffic collision that was reported around 6:45 p.m. The type letter released by police Saturday says the Davis Police Department has been hitting me with ultrasonic waves meant to keep dogs from barking, he went on to say. It's the same letter. After shooting Corona without warning, Limbaugh opened fire in another direction, including towards a firefighter who was running away. But no one else was injured. Patel said there were 2 firearms, which he said were semi-automatic pistols. On November 9th, Limbaugh relinquished a Bushmaster AR-15 rifle to Davis police following a prior conviction, according to court documents. Let me back up for a second. So when he fired at he shot the firefighter who was running away, but no one else was injured. Davis Police Chief Darren Patel said Friday, a bullet hit the firefighter in the boot, but was not hurt. A motive is under investigation. Patel, the Davis Police Chief, said there were 2 firearms, which he said were semi-automatic pistols. On November 9th, Limbaugh relinquished a Bushmaster AR-15 rifle to Davis police following a prior conviction, according to documents. That's just November 9th. That's very soon. He was arrested and charged with battery with serious injury in Yolo County on September 20th, according to court documents. Online court records indicate that he pleaded no contest and was sentenced to probation. The Sacramento Bee newspaper, citing a source, reported Saturday that the battery case stemmed from Limbaugh punching a co-worker at a Cache Creek casino in the face after a dispute. Wow. Doroshoff did not immediately respond to an email seeking more details about the letter. When investigators got into the house where the suspect was, they found the letter open face on a bed. We can only speculate that it was there to be seen immediately. Christian Pasquale, 25, who was involved in the fender bender, told the Sacramento Bee in an article published Friday that the drivers were exchanging information with Corona when a bystander came up behind his right shoulder and opened fire. That's the incident. This just describes the whole thing, which has already been reported. I'm going to stop there. The incident of the shooting. I'll do it real quick. So Patel, the Davis police chief, said Friday that witnesses reported the gunman rode up on his bicycle and was in some shadows of the sidewalk. As Corona, that's the officer who was killed, was in the street between 2 vehicles, and the suspect basically just opened fire. He did. He just started shooting at him. At that point, he unloaded a magazine, so he expanded all the rounds in the magazine, reloaded, and then started shooting in another direction. Wow. All right, that's the story there, man. That is the story there. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.